What's happening, guys? On today's episode of Mike's Total Dragon Channel, we are going to talk about what is probably the greatest team-up book of all time. If it's not the greatest, it's a 1A, 1B situation. But today we are going to talk about Superman versus Muhammad Ali by Neal Adams. This book here came out, I want to say it was in 78, and it is probably one of his most well-known works. Definitely one of Neal's most popular works, simply because I think the size of the book and the way we're able to experience Neal Adams's artwork really kind of beefs up the impressiveness of it. You know, if you take a look at it, you see that it is a bigger size. This is just a reprint, as you can tell from the fact that it's $15 right there. This is just a reprint, but you can see that it is a giant size comic book, and it's kind of like those Marvel giant size books that you see that has the old Jack Kirby artwork in it, you know, like the Fantastic Four or issues of Thor that are really huge. So you get to take, or the Captain America Bicentennial special that he did, that you really get to kind of experience it in a way that in a smaller, regular size book you don't get to. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this thing open, and this is the cover here. And as you'll see in the cover, there's, you know, a crowd of hundreds in attendance. Now, each one of these people is an actual person, you know, a celebrity, a DC comic book character, somebody who was working in comic books at the time. So they're not just random folks, you know, random static images that are drawn in. These are actual likenesses that Neal put in. This is the front, and this is on the back right here. So you get to see, like, there's Jerry Garcia right there, Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine. But I think this book here, you got the Jackson 5, you can tell by the big, huge afros. This book, along with Superman versus Spider-Man, that came out around the same time, these are probably the best known crossover, you know, team up style books. And that Superman Spider-Man issue, that's a giant sized magazine format as well. So you get the real big pages. And Neal Adams, if I'm not mistaken, he did some work on that book too. Now, I know that Ross Andru is credited as of doing the artwork, but I've heard that Neal did a lot of it under the table, you know, kind of like redrawing stuff to fit better on the page, to fit more of a style that they wanted. So, and I'm not sure how true that is or not, but I have heard that Neal did do a bunch of uncredited work on that Superman versus Spider-Man. Now, if you were so inclined, this has where everyone is, and then who that person is that's sitting there, you know. So, and you've got people from all over the place, you know. Just looking right here, you've got Pele, you've got Joe Namath, you know, looking right here, Joe Orlando, Neal Adams himself, Dick Giordano. So It's got everybody on there, and they include this really cool little like a cheat sheet right here to see who's who. Sonny Bono, Jimmy Carter, the president. But I'm going to kind of speed through this a little fast because while it is an incredible book, the story is kind of, to me anyway, the story is just kind of blah. You know, a lot of times when you have these type of characters meeting, you know, whether it be Muhammad Ali and Superman, Spider-Man and Superman, the Justice League or the Avengers, because of the difference between the two, getting them to meet a lot of times doesn't really, you know, make the most sense, you know, on paper. So it's typically the plot is X happens to bring the two characters or teams together, then they meet, and then the event is solved. So really what you're getting is the story, to me, is secondary to the art. Just like the Justice League and the Avengers book, the story doesn't really make a whole lot of sense on paper, you know, but it's just an excuse to have the characters meet and interact. And this story here, which Denny O'Neil, and he plotted this story, and Neal, I believe, did the scripting for it as well as the penciling. So Denny came up with the plot, Neal flushed it all out, and then also drew it. But to me, the story is secondary because you have such beautiful shots like this. This is just an incredibly beautiful opening page. This double spread. You know, you've got downtown Metropolis, and this looks like something. You know, this looks like something straight out of some 70s movie. You know, here's Clark and Lois and Jimmy, and they look like they're, you know, downtown somewhere. You know, you got this guy, they're selling fruit on the corner. You know, this just like, it really gives you that inner city vibe. You know, everyone is dressed in cool 70s clothes, you know, looking like they're just like street characters. And then you've got Clark and Lois and Jimmy here sticking out like sore thumbs, you know. But it's just a incredibly detailed work here by Neal Adams. Just as soon as you turn the page, you get this. And Neal was really known. Then we get Muhammad Ali. He just, boom, happens to be here. But Neal was really known for a style of realism that I think a lot of, at the time, that is. Now, we're talking about at the time. Comic books did not really have a style that looked like Neal that regularly. If you did, it was not on a book that was very mainstream like Superman is. And Neal, I want to say, he actually was a commercial artist. You know, I think he worked in advertising before he came on to comic books, which is why he has this style that looks very, you know, realistic. So Muhammad Ali and Superman. So basically the whole point, I'm not going to go into the story very much other than just the generic plot of it is, there is a alien race and they want to destroy Earth. And Superman and Muhammad Ali say that they should be the champions who battled this race. But they can't decide who should be the champion. So these, basically what ends up happening is Superman and Muhammad Ali are going to fight each other to see who can defend Earth. So that's the whole gist of the story. But like I said, to me, the story is secondary to this beautiful Neal Adams artwork. You know, look at this scene here of the two bombs blowing up. You got these huge mushroom clouds here over the ocean. This gigantic tidal wave. That's one of the things that I really like about these giant size like treasury editions. Is you get that it blows all the panels up, so you're kind of getting to see the art on a grander scale. So they fly off to, Superman and Muhammad Ali fly off to the Fortress of Solitude, and they set up a boxing ring so Superman can get a little bit of some work in the ring before him and Muhammad Ali fight. And they're under. If you're wondering, well, how the hell is Superman going to lose to Muhammad Ali? Because Muhammad Ali doesn't have any powers. Well, they're fighting and practicing under a red sun. So you kind of get a breakdown right here of certain boxing terms, and Muhammad Ali's demonstrating them. I love how evil this alien looks right here. His eyes are all narrow, and he's got this big green head. They're like two Rock'em Sock'em robots right here. Superman is able to put the boots to these robots really fast because he's got his super strength back because he cut off the red kryptonite. And this is the alien's representative, that whoever wins, Muhammad Ali or Superman, is going to have to go up against. This is their champion, so that's who they're going to have to fight against. His name is Hunya. His name is also his battle cry. That's like a straight up like cartoon comic book thing. It's a good looking shot of Muhammad Ali right here. Neal Adams, he does a really good job of capturing Muhammad Ali's likeness. Like I said, he being Neal Adams, definitely had a knack for realism in his artwork. Here's Jimmy. Here's Jimmy basically in the role of Howard Cosell, who is actually standing right here as well. Superman's coming out. And Muhammad Ali's coming out. So now they're about to fight each other for the right to fight against Hunya. That's another great illustration right there of Muhammad Ali. Now, obviously, I think I was 2 when this came out, but from watching a lot of ESPN and sports-related shows, basically Muhammad Ali was the celebrity of this. He was, you know how Michael Jordan was our celebrity, you know, of the late 80s and 90s, you know, like Mike. That's what Muhammad Ali was during this era. You know, he was the biggest celebrity at the time, you know, and even though he had a lot of controversy about not wanting to go into the military and going to jail, he still was an incredibly popular pop culture icon and sport icon. So basically we're seeing right here, Muhammad Ali is basically just beating the shit out of Superman because they're fighting under a red star, or a red sun, I should say. And, you know, Superman, he doesn't have anywhere near the experience in boxing to come close to even, he shouldn't even be able to lace up Muhammad Ali's gloves. And Muhammad Ali right here, he stands up for Superman. He's hands off. Take your slimy hands off that man. We'll take care of our own. And this, I love how he captures Muhammad Ali in these expressions with him, with his eyes. You know, his eyebrows right here are kind of furrowed. He, you know, looks real angry right here. And he's got his mouth wide open. And if you've seen a lot of documentaries and stuff with Muhammad Ali, here's Superman getting stretchered out after he's got his ass kicked. If you've seen a lot of documentaries and things with Muhammad Ali, you know, one of the things you'll notice is kind of got some shoving going on right here. He was a, you know, very loud, braggadocious individual. You know, he was a talker. One of the things I heard is he was a big fan of pro wrestling as a young man, and he took the showmanship of pro wrestling and the interview skills and the promotion, and he brought it to boxing to help create the spectacle and to help build himself up as an athlete and as someone that's, you know, noticeable. And like I said, the story is kind of second place to me, and it gets kind of wonky here. Like, you know, Lois is now, or not Lois, but Lois takes over the microphone from Jimmy because Jimmy's become speechless that now there's some extraterrestrial entity, some sort of cloud being or something has emerged from beneath the ring. So it, you know, it kind of is a little whatever. You know, we don't really care about the aliens and stuff. We just want to see Muhammad Ali and Superman fight people. And this is another beautiful Neal Adams shot right here. This is like classic Adams looking. Just a beautiful, beautiful, this planet's exploding. You've got the rubble here, the spaceship, and then there's aliens sitting on this throne. And then at the bottom you got Ali. Okay, alien, you want a prediction? I got one. He'll hit the floor in 4. He'll hit the floor in 4. And furthermore, so now he's really, Ali that is, he's really starting his rap right here. He's cutting a promo on this alien. If you're a professional wrestling fan, you know, this is like a fucking Austin 316 style promo he's cutting on this alien. And look, like I said, this is another instance of Adams drawing Muhammad Ali in a very boisterous manner, you know, which fits him cutting this promo. And that, I'm the greatest, I'm the king. So this is just a great shot. So now we've got some secondary stuff going on. And now Muhammad Ali, he's going to fight Hunya. He's fighting the aliens champ. So this is kind of what we've been waiting. Well, I guess kind of what we were waiting for was the Muhammad Ali and the Superman fight, and we got that. And so now they're fighting each other. Jimmy's doing his bit of commentary. He's saying that Muhammad Ali doing the rope-a-dope might not be the smartest thing right here. Which, if you don't know much about boxing, if you've ever seen a Rocky movie, that's essentially what the rope-a-dope is. You let a guy kick your ass, and you take that beating until he's so starched up that he can't go on. So we're kind of winding down here. Superman has went behind the scenes in disguise. So that's one of the downsides of this being such a big book. So Superman's kind of working behind the scenes here to basically disrupt this attack force they have. Meanwhile, Muhammad Ali's working in the ring. Ali's got knocked down. And then Ali gets really pissed off right here when he finds out the alien says, if your government agreed to deed the people of Earth to us as our slaves, we will spare them. There is no other alternative. And Ali, being the strong man that he is, a moral character, you know, to him, that is not an option that he can lose this fight. You know, that's not an option, losing and having all of humanity become slaves. So Ali, he's basically got his rally cap on here, landing some punches, starting to wear down. And then look at this great outer space shot right here. You got the planet up there in the top. Yeah, that's kind of one of the bad things about this book. It's so big, it gets kind of unwieldy. We've got a beautiful shot of Superman right here. This is not as well known as his Superman, as Adams' Superman, Breaking the Chains, Kryptonite No More. But it should be. It's just as good, and it's just as iconic. It's a beautiful pose to have Superman flying like that in outer space. The Man of Steel, Superman, coming to a jar of peanut butter near you. Superman peanut butter. Just some more really big panels right here. Superman gets blasted from behind. The big laser blast, it flushes the panel all bright with light. And Superman is basically enveloped by all of it. Meanwhile, the real action right here is going on. Ali is whooping that ass right now. This is like when in Rocky IV, when Stallone is wearing out Drago. He's got the big wind up, the pitch, knocks him right out the ring. Some video games that would be called ring out. Wow. Look at this. This is beautiful. Superman just goes full on ramming speed. Boom, 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 boom. Flies through all these ships right here. Explodes all of them. Like a superhuman torpedo, the Man of Tomorrow plunges his body through the engine rooms of the lined-up battleships. By the laws of nature, sound cannot be heard in space. Yet this time, this one scream of agony and determination welling up from the depths of a being who will not lose his adopted home, even though he die, is heard throughout the galaxy. Even though he die. I don't know. That sounds kind of wonky. So, meanwhile, back in the boxing ring, Hunya has turned on his captor, so to speak. He's sided with Muhammad Ali. Because Muhammad Ali is more honorable than the previous aliens. Hunya goes, "What is more, you have disgraced the name of Scrub throughout the galaxy. Your shame is our shame." Ah, yes, the name Scrub. A word that's held in esteem throughout all of the planet. All planets. You underestimate the Scrub, my friend. That's funny. I wonder if TLC made that song about him. Muhammad Ali has a little bit of dialogue here with Lois. That's what did it. Fair play saved the earth. When you come right down to it, fair play is what it's all about. Hey, you don't have to tell Mr. Terrific that. And speaking of fair shakes, folks, this is Jimmy Olsen. This is Lois Lane. Good life. So that is basically the end of the story. And then we just have this wrap up right here. Superman and Muhammad Ali have a little post-match meet and congratulations on each doing a good job, well done. A good job, well done. Muhammad Ali clues Superman in to let him know that he's Clark Kent. So not only is Muhammad Ali an incredibly proficient boxer, he's also smart enough to figure out that they're Clark and Superman the same person. And then we end on this incredible classic shot. Superman, we are the greatest. And just a beautiful way to wrap this book up. And then here's the back page again. But like I said, this is probably, if this isn't the greatest team-up book in the 70s, it's the second one behind Spider-Man and Superman. But the art here, I think, is probably superior to that one. But all in all, if you don't have this book in your collection, it's a really fun book to search out and pick up. I recommend giving it a shot. You know, DC, now that they're re-releasing everything in facsimile editions, you don't have to pay such a heavy price for it anymore, you know, with the aftermarket, the markup, so to speak. But like I said, this is a beautiful book. I have the copy of the original, but I didn't want to dig it out for this. So I just picked up this replica. $15 isn't bad at all. But that is Superman versus Muhammad Ali. Real fun book. Good look into Neal Adams' some of his more famous work. If he's not someone you're familiar with, familiarize yourself with him. He passed away, I want to say it was 2 or 3 years ago, and the comic book industry lost a real legend. So he is someone that he's definitely someone that people need to know more about if they don't know anything about him. And you can just look at a bunch of his work and just see the legacy he made for himself. And he was just a really beloved figure in comic books. And him taking on this book is just kind of like a really a testimony. Not really a testimony, but it really showcases his skills, I guess you would say. So do yourself a favor next time you're at your comic book shop. See if they got this, and they have it. Pick it up for yourself. It's a real fun read. Beautiful, beautiful drawn book, and you'll enjoy it. So until next time, this is Mike, the Mike's Little Dragon Channel. You guys take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.